Hi everyone, welcome to Wembley. Thanks for joining us this morning ahead of a busy November camp. And James, we'll begin with you from Sky Sports.
Hi Sarina.
Hi.
Big blow to be without Lauren Hemp and Ella Toone during this upcoming camp. When it comes to Lauren Hemp, Manchester City have said she's undergone knee surgery. Any indication at this very early stage how long she could be missing for?
No, no, not for me. Yes, she had surgery. I think she's all right. And it takes a while before she gets back. But I'm not worried for the longer future.
And in terms of Ella Toone, Mark's going to confirm that she'll miss the next 2 matches for Manchester United. Was she close to being involved, or do you think she'll be out for a significant period?
Yeah, she's out. She's out for our period. That became clear pretty quickly that she wouldn't be able to be part of our squad this camp.
And with players out, there's an opportunity for players coming in. Can you talk us through the decision to call up Laura Blinkilde-Brown and Ruby Mace for the first time? Both players just 21 years of age.
Yeah, young players, very talented players. Of course, playing at the club, competition at the City is really high in midfield, but she gets some minutes, Laura. But they've also done very well at the under-23s, and this is also an opportunity now to bring them in, to see them in our environment. I hope they start competing straight away. But yeah, opportunity, 2 friendlies, they're doing well, bring them in.
And Gabby George back for the first time in 2 years.
Yeah, I'm very happy for her. She's worked so hard. And yes, she's done well for Manchester United. So yeah, again, for her too, it's really good to see her in our environment and how she relates. But I think she showed some pretty good games for Man U.
And you previously said that Chloe Kelly's built up a lot of credit for what she's done in England shirt the last few years. But
I think I said some credit.
Some credit, okay, some credit. Well, when does her lack of minutes for Manchester City become a real concern for you?
Yeah, and I think it's a concern right now already. That's a hard situation. Competition, what I said, at Man City is high too. But it's also to have a look at what's available, what players do we have available for our squad. We have some injuries up front, so Lauren Hemp is injured, Lauren James is injured, so that competition is still going on too. So she knows that, Chloe knows that she's not in the best position at club at the moment, but enough credit to bring her in, related to the whole team and the availability of players.
And finally, away from the squad announcement, yesterday we saw Sam Kerr and Kristie Mewis announce they're having a baby next year, which is brilliant news, but they've been faced with some hateful, homophobic abuse online. Yeah. How disappointing is that to see after such an amazing announcement from the pair?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's part of our world, I guess, which should not be. Very, very disappointing. I'm really happy for them, so congratulations for them. And yeah, I hope they are really happy, they look really happy, and I hope everything goes well.
Thank you. Thanks, James. We'll go to Kit from the Times. Thank you.
Hi, Sarina. Nice to see you. Can I just go back to a couple of the players that are out injured? First of all, Ella, do you have any specific time periods that you expect her to be out for, or not at this stage?
No, that's a question you have to ask Manchester United. I know she's not available for us.
Okay, and same with Lauren Hemp. Do you know if it's anything related to her ACL, the knee injury?
No, it's not.
Okay, thank you. We got the US squad announcement last night, and obviously there are a few kind of big names missing, most of all the 3 famous players up front. Is it at all disappointing that you're not going to be, I suppose, tested by maybe the very best USA team as you kind of prepare for the Euros by trying to play top-level opponents?
I think the USA is still very, very top level. And yes, I saw that too, that they miss some players. So do we. We miss some players too. I think this bit part of the year, November, and part of football too, that sometimes you have injuries and then other players get opportunities to play. I think they still have a very decent team and decent squad, but that we're going to see a very competitive game on the 30th of November.
And a similar question just about the spectacle of the occasion. Is there any kind of frustration that there might be so many big superstar names missing from the USA game at Wembley on both teams?
What? I'm not sure what you mean with this question.
In the sense that obviously both teams are missing a few kind of their biggest, most famous players for that game. Is there any kind of frustration around that?
Well, that's what I just said. That's part of football, and unfortunately, you want the best team or the best players in your squad all the time. But sometimes players are injured or not available for a reason, and then other players have the opportunity to step up and show. That's how we approach it all the time. So, yeah, we'll see them back.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Kit. Go to the front row.
Hi, Sarina.
Hi.
Since September 2021, you've been leading the Lionesses from victory to victory. What's something that you have learned from your playing days that you implement into coaching, and what's the secret behind your success?
Well, I don't have very many secrets. First of all, starts with working hard and trying to connect people. I think when you have so many talented players, the main thing you want to do is bring them together and let them play together at the highest level. And there's lots of things behind the scenes. Together, we work on things with staff, of course. And that's what we're working on our style of play, and we want to train that. And then we talk about connections all the time, on and off pitch, managing lots of things, but trying to play as best as we can.
And what are the pillars within the culture you have created that allows the women to harmonise so well on and off the pitch?
Yeah, it starts, of course. We also have a purpose. What brings us together is football. So many talented players that come in, and then we talk about connections a lot. So we want to treat each other with respect. We want to give clarity on things, which this camp, some things will not be clear because we're experimenting. Because when you play 2 friendlies, you want to experiment a lot, then from that comes clarity, and also we always want to learn. Those are the things that we are. Are the pillars of how we create environments, and making mistakes is part of that too. So we have to take action in things on and off pitch. Then you make mistakes, we learn from mistakes.
Hi, Sarina. I wanted to ask you about going up against Emma Hayes. Obviously, she's recently started in her new role at the USA. What have you made of what she's done so far, and how are you feeling about going up against her?
Yeah, before we were calling each other a lot because she was coach of Chelsea, and Chelsea players came into our squad. So that was kind of a collaboration, which went really well. And then, of course, we know where she went and what she did. So she's done an amazing job at Chelsea, but now going into that environment, the USA, of course, with a gold medal, it's incredible what she has done. So really, really impressive. And I'm looking forward to see her, meet her, and to play the USA with England. It's going to be a good one.
Connected to that, we've also had the draw for the Nations League, and you've been drawn alongside Spain, also Belgium and Portugal in a group, but particularly Spain. How important is it to go up teams like Spain, the world champions, and the US, the Olympic champions, who are such a high quality as you kind of build towards Euro 2025?
Yeah, with the Nations League, the groups will always be hard, and which I think is good. It's so competitive now. And yes, when you play the best teams, you'll be exposed. So when you do, you have to do really well. And when you don't, or you don't get the things really right, then it's exposed straight away. And those are the biggest learning moments. So yes, I'm really looking forward to that too. But now first, it's USA and Switzerland where we can experiment, try out things, play many players, manage loads a bit, and take a lot of learnings from those 2 games.
And finally, I wanted to ask you about an article that Lucy Bronze wrote off the back of the last couple of games, where she was speaking about dealing with this expectation on the Lionesses now since Euro 2022, and of course the success in the World Cup, that the Lionesses will just win every game really comfortably. As a manager who's won 2 Euros, how do you deal with those expectations and help the players to deal with just the huge pressure that's come onto them in the last couple of years?
Yeah, so those expectations come, of course, from good performances, from being successful, which is really good. And as we say, on the pitch we want to adapt, and off the pitch we have to adapt too. So we have to find a way to cope with the high expectations, and sometimes also criticism. which, yes, we have to find a way to deal with that because it becomes a little more personal. But we know what we want to do, where we're going. And as I said, this camp again, we're going to try out things, we're going to experiment. We have to embrace that we don't get everything right, that we will not be perfect. I don't think you'll ever be perfect, but we're trying to be. And that gives us so much learnings and information about individual players and about the team, which is necessary to learn or to take away in our preparation for the Euros. So that's the way we talk to players to get the bigger picture. And I think it's very important that we really know with our internal circle what we're working on and how we want to do that.
Thank you, Sarina.
Thanks very much. We'll just go across to Fee. Thank you.
Hi, Sarina.
Hi.
You're clearly excited to go up against, Emma Hayes and a manager of her caliber. I just wondered, did you follow much of the US's Olympic campaign over the summer?
Yeah, we did follow some. The same, by the way, that it's also nice to play Pia Sundhage with Switzerland. Yes, we did. Very impressive. And you could tell that they have been waiting to get started with Emma too. I thought you could feel the energy and see the energy on the pitch.
Emma was obviously under a lot of pressure going straight from Chelsea to the biggest job or one of the biggest jobs in the women's game. Has her start to life across the pond, has it surprised you at all with how brilliant she's been?
No, it hasn't surprised me at all because I value her really high. What she's done in the women's game, what she's done at Chelsea, and how ready she was to go into the USA job. Really, I think she was really ready for that, and you could tell and see. So I wasn't surprised. But that doesn't say that it's easy to do because it's really, really hard. We saw that even in the final, how hard that game was. But they found, they finally found a way to win that game too. So impressive.
Nice. And just lastly, how important is it to kind of finish the calendar year strongly with these last two fixtures going into 2025?
Yeah, well, it's not these two games we play. I think what we said, we have the opportunity now to play 4 friendlies. We already we have played 2. We have 2 more, and we just want to get so many things out of this next camp and out of these 2 games. And we want to try out things. We want to experiment. So yes, we're not going to get everything right, but that's so important to get to the USA and to in the game against Switzerland, to figure out things and see players, and that gives us so much information. And of course, we're going to play to win. We always do, but at the same time, we're experimenting, and that's very important. And yeah, that's if that's important, we play well, we get those things out of it. Then for me, it's successful.
Sure, and I imagine playing the Olympic champions will be provide a good indicator of where your side is at.
Absolutely. With here at Wembley. Already more than 80,000 tickets sold, so it's going to be an exciting one.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks, Eve. Any questions from the floor? Nope. We'll end there. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.